All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Guys, we are seeing some dumpage today, dumping through our major support level below, or that was below us yesterday. Not seeing any reaction here, which is very, very strange to me. This could be capitulation in progress, but look at this big daily candle that we're seeing so far. One of the biggest, reddest daily candles we've seen on this entire move down from 107K or from 98K, excuse me. Actually, in the entire move from the all-time high, October 10th was the only one that is comparable to this. So major dumpage to the downside. We are invalidating our bullish divergences on the daily time frame that could have been developed from our 80.5K lows to our new lows, starting to invalidate those bull divs. And on the lower time frames, we are starting to invalidate our bull divs on NAMI on this dump from 98K down. So looking really bearish here, guys. The fact that we just really sliced right through our major support level, being that macro golden pocket, being that macro value area high of our previous range. And now that we are potentially finding reacceptance back within this prior range of 2024, it's likely that we could move to the POC of the range, which is going to be around $63,200. We do still have some hope if the daily candle can close back at our support level around $68,300. If we can close at $68,300 or above, then we might see this as just a bit of a liquidation wick that bring us a little bit lower. This volatility from the leverage that is traded within the crypto markets. But, you know, this doesn't look good. Also, we are on our total market cap. We are dumping through our very key support level as well, being that daily, that 1.618 Fibonacci extension or expansion level. And, you know, we've come down and we have now taken out the lows of our 2025 range on the total market cap. We have completely broken our bullish structure to the downside now. And oftentimes, guys, I did warn about this earlier a few weeks ago or last week on the bearish backtest. You can see major volatility come in if you reject there. And that is what we are seeing in the total crypto market, in the market cap right now. So not looking too good. Now, one thing that I will say is we can start to look at Bitcoin. We can start to combine these two ranges together, because now that we're finding reacceptance back within your 2024 range, we can actually pull a new volume profile and measure the price action of all. And you can see when we measure the price action of both the 2024 range and our 2025 range, you can see that we are coming down to that POC support level. That is going to be around $67,500. But man, you guys, we could see a dump to the mid to low 50s. And I'm going to talk about 56 to 57K is a really, really interesting level of support for me. I'll go over that in just a second, but let me take a second to shout out you guys in the chat. Jaffiel, welcome in, man. Happy Thursday, hump day, dump day, right? Please, guys, do not try to catch the knife on these trades. Especially if you are not experienced in crypto, just wait. You have to wait for the volatility to settle down here. Quality Crypto, welcome in. My 95% stablecoin bags is beginning to prod me with a stick. Yeah, I do think it is time to start looking for some spot buys and some major swing longs. But once again, and I said this in yesterday's video, I said I am looking to swing long in this major support box zone here, but I am not setting limit orders there. I am going to wait till we see a reaction and some sign of strength. And so today, when we just sliced straight through it, I saw no reaction that was worthy of taking a long trade yet, and still have not seen a reaction. And even earlier today, right before we got this major dump to the downside, I warned about how we could see, if we do come up to the VWAP and reject from the VWAP, we are going to see the dumpage continue. And we did reject on the lower time frames from that VWAP this morning. You could see right in here that VWAP was right, like trying to reclaim our support level, but we rejected, and sure enough, we continued to dump to the downside. While we're here on the 15-minute, I will say that we are starting to see some really nice bull divs on the 15-minute. You can see multiple drives of bull div on Market Cypher B, money flow rising to the upside on Market Cypher B, and locally on NAMI, we're seeing the bull divs and we're seeing the money flow bull divs coming in here. So I know I've been saying this for a while, the last few days, but we should see relief coming in soon. Now, we can continue to form drives of bull divs until we come down and touch our point of control at $63,200. And it's, to be exact, 63,167 on Coinbase. All right. But yeah, welcome in, Dad87. Welcome in. And thank you for being here, Dad. Thank you for that kind comment. Glasshopper, welcome in. Yeah. Okay. First off, guys, Glasshopper says nothing goes straight down forever. And that's true. And we are starting to see that parabolic straight down to the price action to the downside. So we can expect when we do start to get a relief rally, it could be a quick, aggressive relief rally to the upside. Man, you know, even within this rejection from 98K, if we're looking at a 1, 2, a 3, we would still need a little couple week range or retracement before making another new low. And that is where this could get really, really interesting and really, really bearish for us. This could, I mean, in some ways we already knew that this was a bear market, but guys, this is going to get pretty aggressively dumpage to the downside if we don't continue to bounce soon. So yeah, we're even breaking the 2.618. We're coming down to the 3 Fibonacci extinction level for that trend-based Fibonacci extinction. And even within our larger fifth wave from 98K to our lows today, we know that the way to measure that is to pull your Fibonacci retracement from the 80.5K lows up to your 98K highs. And you're looking between the 1.236 and the 1.618. Well, we busted straight through that 1.618 earlier today, and we might be coming down to the 2 Fibonacci extinction or even lower. Let's see, the 2. Okay, actually, I really, really like that. Your 2 Fibonacci extinction for your fifth wave to end the fifth wave is right at $63,100, pretty much right on top of your point of control of your 2024 range. So that is actually going to be very, very interesting because in an extended fifth wave, you actually can see, especially in these major capitulation dumps, your fifth wave to the downside can actually extend past the 1.618 to like the 2 fib level or even the 2.618 Fibonacci expansion, excuse me, for that one. So we'll have to see, you know, 63.1, 63.2 is going to be a pretty crucial support level. And 50K doesn't seem so far. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Time Attack, welcome in, man. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you for modding for me, Time Attack. Appreciate you as always. If we go under 60K soon, I'm going to be tempted to go 75% in, then hold the rest. If we go lower, spot, of course. Yeah, guys, I'm going to talk about 57K is looking very, very interesting. 57K is going to be our anchored VWAP from the bear market lows, from our $15,500 lows. You can see pretty much right at 57K. And if I go to my other chart, let's see, it was the big, now I'll hide this, I'll clean this up just a second for you. We did reject from the top of our pitchfork. We bounced from the bottom of the band. This was in beginning of 2025. So, you know, in February, December and January, we rejected 108, 109K. We dropped to the bottom of the band at 74K. We bounced. We came up, we formed a distribution range again at the top of the pitchfork. We came down to 80K, the bottom of the pitchfork band. We bounced, but we did reject on that POC and that anchored VWAP. At least on Coinbase, we hit the anchored VWAP perfectly from the all-time high. And we're losing that pitchfork band with increased volume to the downside. You can see here, losing it really aggressively with increased volume to the downside. So what is our next major pitchfork level? Well, it's going to be around 55 to 57K, depending on how fast we get down there. Now, if I also put on our bearish pitchfork, this is a new bearish pitchfork that I put on the chart. It is going to be pulled from your beginning of 2025 all-time high. So this all-time high that was made in January at 109K. We're going to bring it down to the 74K lows, and then we're going to bring it up to our flat target highs, pretty much our current all-time high. And you can see that we are starting to lose the bearish pitchfork band, the lower band of the bearish pitchfork. So as far as pitchfork trading goes, where's our next major support level for not only our larger bullish multi-cycle pitchfork, but also our bearish pitchfork being close to the bottom? It is going to be, I would expect some sort of bounce at 63.2, maybe a back test of that band before coming down to around $57,000, where we have two major confluences of the bearish pitchfork bottom and the pitchfork midline of our multi-cycle pitchfork. And it's also going to be where that anchored VWAP from the bear market lows is coming in. So 57K is looking like a pretty strong support level. Although I thought 70K was going to be a strong support level. And look what happened there. Let's throw that on. Let me just come in here. Now, on the Binance USD chart, I think this is our low, 15,450. Yeah, actually, let's throw it right here. Let me get rid of this one. Wow, interesting. Okay, on the Binance Bybit USD chart, we are actually even breaking our anchored VWAP from the bear market lows, from our $15,500 lows. We're breaking our anchored VWAP from those lows. That is incredible to see. Now, I do, for the major volume levels, I follow the Coinbase chart, the Coinbase anchored VWAP. And once again, if we go back to that Coinbase chart, you can see that anchored VWAP is going to be coming in right around that $57,000 level, where the two bearish pitchfork, or the two major pitchforks, align. Another thing that we now might have to look at on the weekly time frame, are we seeing an impulse of a major weekly impulse to the downside, where all of this dump to 80.5K could have been in only a wave one before seeing a rally to 98K in a wave two, and then the dump in the third wave could bring us at least to 63.2, but maybe even potentially down to 56,000, 57,000 before seeing a fourth wave, back testing that 70K level as resistance, and then seeing a new fifth wave potentially coming down and taking out your 49K range lows of your 2024 range. The way this is looking, guys, today, with the increased volume that we're seeing on the dump to the downside today, we can't say that this is getting close to an end. Look at the increase in volume on this daily candle to the downside. And specifically, our rejection from 98K, we have had increasing volume on the dump to the downside, the entire dump down. Money flows just crossing into the red. We have now invalidated our bull divs. Money flow is heavily draining out again on NAMI here. So all macro bearish signs, and these macro bearish signs were foreshadowed with the weekly bearish divergences we were seeing on the chart, the triple drive of weekly bearish divergences, with the monthly bearish divergences, with the 2-month bearish divergences we were seeing on the chart. And it just doesn't, man, guys, it just, the way that we lost the bottom, the value area low of our upper range, and now we're just continuing to dump. And you can see, since we lost that value area low, volume has actually increased much, much more in the past week or so. Let's zoom in a bit here on the 4-hour chart. Volume has continued to increase hugely on this dump to the downside. And still, as we're dumping right now, volume is continuing to increase on this dump, meaning that this is a aggressive, healthy dump to the downside. And we need to see volume starting to drop here as we're making lower lows. We need to see volume starting to drop in order to see a true relief rally come in. And I'm not talking about a little, 8 to 12 hour relief rally of $1,000 or $2,000. I'm talking about a real relief rally that we could see. Man, it's just, my next major support level for me is going to be $63,200, where our previous range point of control and our 2-to-1 Fibonacci expansion level is. And then below that's going to be 57K, right around 57K, where that anchored VWAP is, resting in confluence with the two pitchforks. Okay. Let's see some PA slowing down. Yeah, we need to see the volume start to decrease. You're right, Time Attack. And right now, volume is just increasing rapidly here. It's really wild. You have some shorts. Yeah, if you have some shorts, it's much easier to DCA in. Okay, exactly. All right. Tony Box, welcome in. Freddie King is today. Okay. Wendell, good morning, Wendell. Good morning, TXRX. Philip, welcome in, man. I bought spot bags today. Am I dumb? Well, I've been buying some spot altcoins, and I actually did buy some spot Bitcoin at $68,200, $300. But honestly, to be honest, we should have been waiting for a slowdown in this price action. You know, as we've been dumping, volume's been increasing. So really, in order to get the good, so overall, to answer your question, no, I don't think you're dumb. We've dumped 44% from the all-time highs. When you dump over 20%, you can start looking at spot DCAing in, as long as you have a long-term, as long as you're okay holding it underwater for a bit and you have kind of have a long-term outlook on when you're going to sell that spot. But we really do want to now, as spot holders, for me in particular, I am going to wait until we start to see some sign of strength or some sort of exhaustion in the selling. So we want to see this major drop to the downside starting to weaken, and we want to see like that, either that a descending channel start to form or like some sort of wedge in here start to form, where we could then, as we're making lower lows, we want to see the volume starting to decrease here as we're making those lower lows. And that'll give us a sign that, okay, you know, the selling exhaustion, the selling is starting to get really exhausted here. All right. Yeah, please, guys, hit the like button for me. If you get any sort of insight into the market or into the into Bitcoin from this stream, please hit the like button for me. Please subscribe to the channel, share the video. Yeshwanth, much love back to you as well. Let's see. Good news for us. USDC. The crypto apocalypse is here. Yeah, Machi HJ, it looks like it, right? It does. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to catch up in the chat real quick here. R Pink, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding. Make it bounce. Man, I cannot make it bounce. You know, especially when we see massive selling pressure like this. Maybe if I draw one of those fancy pitchfork lines there, we can make it bounce. But yeah, we'll check USDT dominance, guys, because remember, I said we were breaking out in that sort of bull flag in the USDT dominance. When we didn't SFP those highs, hold on, let me get to USDT dominance. When we didn't, and I'm just going to shut off the volume here. We talked about this on Tuesday's live stream and on last Friday's live stream. But as we were coming up to SFP these double highs here on USDT dominance, we wanted to see a clean SFP there. And if we didn't get the SFP, then it was likely we were going to break out and potentially break out in sort of a bull flag that could break us all the way up to take out your all-time highs in USDT dominance at about 9.5%. And we are well on our way to breaking out of this bull flag up to those areas. And so look at this, guys. We still have quite a bit of to go to get up to that area, but it is absolutely playing out with this bull flag breakout, whether you want to call this a bull flag breakout or just, you know, you're continuing your bullish market structure, continuing the impulsive price action to the upside. Look for a long 65.6 to 66.5. Oh, you took a long. Okay. Well, you know, you are definitely trying to catch the knife there, but if you had your risk management in play and you set your position size properly, I hope you win that, man. I really do. Jesus, what's up, man? Jesus saves, Jesus of Nazareth, welcome in. What's up to you as well? New target is now 54K, Machi HK. Okay, 54K and 55K. 57 to 55 is really where I'm going to be looking for a lot those targets. Let me get back to Bitcoin here, because at 57K, we do have a weekly level as well. We have a pretty nice weekly level around 55K. And the value area low is going to be at $60,200. We're playing at level to level, guys. As traders, we play at level to level. Unfortunately, we're breaking down our major support level that we really wanted to see hold for Bitcoin. If we were going to see the bigger potential move to the upside in the ABC correction. Now, this still can absolutely be an A, B flat, and a C wave. And actually, let's take our targets here. If we look at from the 74K lows up to our all-time highs in an expanded flat correction, in a aggressive expanded flat correction, you can dump all the way to the 1.618 Fibonacci expansion level. Where, I mean, look at where that's coming in at, $42,400 essentially. But let's go to our so 1-to-1, we're already breaking the 1-to-1 expansion, and we could look at that 1.382. So let me come in here. Let's turn off the trend line. Which is going to be around 55,000, which is pretty much, yeah, 54,600. The thing is, if we start to lose the value area low of our previous range, remember in this range in 2024 that we were in for about 8 months, we saw a lot of institutional buying, and we saw a lot of institutions stepping in and accumulating Bitcoin in this area. So this area, this range here, should be heavily defended by those institutional players. If they are still bullish on crypto, on Bitcoin, then they will try to defend those positions. So we are now in that zone where we should start looking for some major defending coming into place. But really, the zone was like 70K. Because we lost it, now we have to look down towards like 63.2K. And that is the point of control. Now, the point of control is where the most volume was traded. That is your fair value for the asset in 2024 for that range, but it's also where the highest volume, and that's where they'll try to defend the most. If they think that if they want to remain bullish on Bitcoin, then they will try to defend that point of control. Okay. Super Mario, welcome in. Why the golden pocket retracement so special, and why do so many traders pay attention to it for a retracement? I ask because, for example, in Elliott wave theory, 618 is mostly considered an invalidation. Well, okay, the 618, that ratio is called the golden ratio for a reason, the phi ratio, right? And it's psychologically ingrained into human psychology. It's ingrained into nature. We see it in the Earth's magnetic field. We see it in the way, apples, in the way our bones are structured. So I couldn't give you the philosophical reason why that number is so important to us, but it's ingrained within our psyches. It's ingrained within nature. And it does tend to be a major psychological point where we do see reversals on price, where we either, and people that don't know what they're doing are having FOMO will oftentimes short. If we're dumping into a major golden pocket, they'll short right into that major golden pocket, and then you'll see the move. And that's also the fuel used to start the move. Or, yeah, or they'll start to take a long from that area because it is a key area of support. So in some ways, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, just like Alta. If a lot of people are looking to long a certain level and enough do it, it can actually cause the price to move that way. Is the only community you offer the Telegram for $100. So Vintage Virtue, first of all, the Telegram is actually free. All you have to do is the $100 you're depositing in is into BYDFI, but it's still your money. Like I don't get that money. It's your money to trade with on the platform, or you could deposit it in and then take it back out if you want to. The requirement to get in, because it is a partnership with BYDFI, and the purpose of this Telegram is to incentivize traders to trade on their platform. So they help me manage it. They help me run the Telegram there, and they want you to deposit on the exchange, deposit $100, hoping that you'll use that $100 to trade with on the exchange to test it out, to see if it's good. You'll see that the discounts are good on the trading fees. You'll see the trading fees are low, and you might like the way the order books are and the way the UI is, the user interface for the exchange. For me, it's been a really, really great exchange, and I'm really happy with the partnership with them. But that's your money, so you're not paying $100 to enter the Telegram. It's just you're depositing it onto the exchange to hopefully incentivize you to trade on the exchange. But to answer your question, that is the only community I have now. I am planning on opening a Discord up, probably a subscription Discord up in a couple of months here. Poor lows right now, hoping for another dip down. Yeah, guys, there's not much. So we also did front run some key internal liquidity in here. If we look at this little internal liquidity, we actually front ran it just barely, or like almost double bottomed it. No, it was a front run. But that's a bad sign too, because we're seeing a small move up right before taking out that little local liquidity, that little local low. Now it's likely that if we do continue down, we're going to continue to bust through it. So I really would be looking, my next major level of interest is going to be $63,200. Until we get down there, there is really nothing in between that is keeping us from dropping there. And if we can start to reclaim like 67,500 to like 68,000, then I could say, okay, now I can start, that's some sort of sign of strength. And then maybe I can now start to look for longs with, obviously my stop loss wouldn't go below the lows, the ultimate lows. I'd be looking for stop loss below your higher lows. And I would be looking at taking trades that way. But we need to see a sign of strength here. Yeah, Luciano, what a day. Look at the volume on the weekly chart in all the bottoms. We have not even close to the pick. So I want to see that on the weekly chart. Let's turn on our volume. By the way, guys, we are about to invalidate. Well, okay, at least on Coinbase, it's not near as high as it was back in your prior bull market, but that prior bull market had such interest that this entire bull market volume's been dropping off as we've been rising, which is actually in some ways a bearish sign, guys. When you do see, as you're making higher highs and higher lows on the weekly chart, but volume is getting lower and lower and lower, like that means that this dump could get really aggressive to the downside. And we are starting to spike in the last 2 weeks locally. As far as like the last half a year on Bitcoin, volume is overall increasing here on this dump to the downside. Not looking good there. Big Deals Whale, welcome in. Maybe here, well, everyone's waiting for the POC of the previous range. Yeah, let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. This thing can't keep dumping forever, but we do know that when crypto capitulates, it's often a lot more aggressive and a lot deeper than the market tends to want or realize. They're just not prepared for it because we do have those major liquidation cascades that do happen. Shoot. All right. Give me a second here, guys. I am going to log in to my order flow. Okay. So let's get back over here. Let me refresh this. I'm going to zoom out to the 15-minute on the order flow. What we are seeing today and really for the past week is look at how heavy the shorts are coming in. This is a healthy and strong move to the downside. Our rejection from $76,000. You can see specifically that rejection from $76,000. By the way, this was on what, Monday? No, Tuesday. We were live during the live stream. We saw that little short squeeze. And I talked about how if we do not see new long stepping in here, we could dump right back down. Because when a short squeeze ends, if you do not see new money coming in to support that rise, it will drop right back down. But specifically since Monday, we have been dropping aggressively on the charts, and our CVD has aggressively been dumping to the downside, meaning it's CVD is just market shorts or market longs. So if your CVD is dropping, that means fresh shorts are coming in. Now, are those fresh shorts because longs are getting stopped out, or are those fresh shorts because the new money entering causing the price to go down? And if we look at our open interest, that will tell us the story. So our open interest specifically since that Monday, we have been seeing a massive increase, and this is the aggregated open interest. So this is across almost all the major exchanges. We are seeing fresh shorts come in. The bears are highly in control right now, successfully pushing the price down with increased amounts of volume and with I have to say, really aggressive new positions that are breaking this thing down. It's almost to me that institutions are starting to sell off. Like, and I know that we are also underwater on Michael Saylor's average price for Bitcoin right now. I do not know what the newest average, I think it was around $76,000. So he is underwater on billions and billions of dollars on his position, his Bitcoin position. This is where the bear market could get very aggressively bad. If Michael Saylor is forced to sell off some of that Bitcoin to keep his company afloat, then he will do it to keep the company afloat. And that is when we could see, low 30s, low to mid 30s could be, highly probable. Highly probable. All right, let me get back to the chat here. Mind Tapestry, welcome in. Good to have you here, and thank you so much for all these TA. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mind Tapestry. Thank you for the kind comment, and I'm glad to be here with you guys. I really am. Technically it's free. Yes, okay. Thank you much, HK, for letting him know that. Can take it. The best. TXRX, thank you for that kind comment. It's the best macro analysis. We are lucky to learn from all for free. Can you imagine? Yeah, thank you for that, TXRX. I appreciate that so much. I got a reverse target at 64,440. Okay, so big deal whales, whatever he's using, that indicator is giving him a reverse target at 64, pretty much $64,400, guys. Sui is below $1. Oh my gosh, dude, the altcoins are probably getting completely destroyed. Wow. Wow, guys, this is just incredible what we're seeing here. This is capitulation, straight up capitulation happening right now. Man, at this point, at this point on Sui, we could be looking, what was that, 70 cents or more? Let's see, naked monthlies. We talked about this $3. It just smashed right through that. Honestly, there is not much to keep us at least from coming down to take out those 75-cent lows. We do have some 75-cent lows in here, these internal lows. I mean, wow. Aggressive dumpage, money flow aggressively leaving on the daily time frame. Printed a hidden bear div just a few days ago on NAMI as well on the daily time frame. Invalidating your possibility for bull divs pretty much right now as well. I don't know why Market Cypher's printing a green dot here. Like, this is one of the biggest red candles we've seen in quite a while. A big bearish engulfing red candle. So I don't know why it's and it's not really a bearish engulfing because the previous candle wasn't green, but it's a big bearish candle. Or I guess that was from a couple days ago. That was from 3 days ago. Crypto Don, welcome in. Don Juan, welcome in. I mainly use the BTC USDT.P chart, and I'm sure that's from Bybit. Okay, naked point of control, monthly and liquidity level at 58K. More confluence for that level. Yes, thank you so much for letting me know that. Like, so is probably a naked daily point of control there. Now, unfortunately, the PVP indicator doesn't go back that far with the naked daily points of controls. But let me just, let's just check out our naked monthlies here on Bitcoin. I want to see if we have any. Yeah, okay. Beautiful. Naked monthly point of control at 58K. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if that's already on my chart. Let me see. I'm just going to throw that there. And let's see if I already have it on the chart. Wow, I didn't have that on the chart. Why did I not have that on the chart? All right, so we do have that naked monthly at $58,000 or $57,900, let's say. I just want to get this spot on in here. Yeah, pretty much $57,900. We do have a naked monthly point of control. So, you know, I would, now I said I expected to bounce at 70K to 68K. We didn't get it, but I would expect this. This is getting highly aggressive to the downside now. And when you start to see this kind of capitulation, you will see a bounce soon. So I would say we're probably going to see some sort of bounce at $63,200. And then I would expect a lower high before coming down to like 57, 58K. And by the time we get down there, we should have some bull divs on the chart. We should have some bullish confirmations on the chart. The thing is also to consider is lots of billions have been liquidated. Some bounce. Yep. A quick bounce will take out most. All right. When are we expecting a short-term push upwards? For me now, it's $63,200. Oh, awesome, man. Thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate that so much. Okay, let me just do this. Yeah, Samuel S., thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate that. I didn't mean to click that. Show all your stuff there. But Samuel S., I really appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for that super chat. Yeah, please hit the like button, guys. we will do our best to keep making money. Now, the thing is, traders, is we can make money both ways. And by the way, not only on Bitcoin, we were looking to short this right up here. And I was telling you guys, we had the bearish confirmation, the daily bear divs as we were coming up there. And I stood firm on my stance that this entire move up looked like a three-wave complex corrective move up before coming down. And I always said the target for the drop was to take out your 74K lows at the very least. We did that. And man, we could even drop, you know, the most bearish case scenario is we could drop all the way down to 42,000 is pretty aggressive there, but we could see some pretty aggressive drops and still in that bigger ABC within the C wave. We could still see some pretty aggressive drops to the downside. And by the way, that is still my primary scenario, is to see an ABC flat, an expanded flat here, where then hopefully at the end of the C wave, we would want to see a motive wave come in, an impulsive structure to the upside. Now, with that motive wave, generally it's more common at the end of a flat correction, an expanded flat correction, to see a motive wave in the reverse direction. So in this case, upwards. And I like, as far as the liquidity trail, the very steep liquidity trail that we're leaving this past week here, we could see one heck of a short squeeze, especially because I showed you guys on the order flow from $76,000 or from $79,000, $76,000, we are seeing fresh shorts come in after a $30,000 drop already, you know, $30,000, $40,000 drop already. So that could be, if we can start to reclaim 70K, we could see a major short squeeze. We could probably see a short squeeze up to $85,000, $86,000 at the very least. And hopefully a short squeeze even higher than that. We would have to look at, first of all, we have to wait until this dump stops, and it's just not stopping. Yeah, 33K, 29K. Yep. Crypto Clan World, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Jesus Nazareth, I know you've been following for quite a while, man. Thank you so much. 50 cents. Yeah. It does, waffle cones, it does feel accelerated this time. And this is what capitulation looks like, guys. And I know that it feels like the world is ending right now. So keep your wits about you, keep your emotions in check here. And you know, if you're in a poor position with bad risk management, please just use this as a lesson to use proper risk management in your trades, in every trade you take. And if you're in short positions, I would let that thing run until we start to see some strength, some sign of strength come in, because this could be like a really good short. I mean, if you didn't catch the short from 116,000, that was a really good short because we SFP'd the range highs. And then if you didn't catch the short from 107,000, I caught that exactly, this short right here from 107,000 exactly, because that was the back test of your 74K anchored VWAP as well. If we threw on that anchored VWAP, that was a really nice short position right in here. But I did take profit on that, and I did take some profit a little bit too early on that. And then your next big short was 98K, 96 to 98K. Now we're getting to the zone where we need to start looking for swing long opportunities, but we wait until we see a sign of strength. Look at this daily candle that we're seeing right now. Look at how aggressive this is to the downside. And right now we're pretty much at the lows for the day. We are not seeing any sort of exhaustion on this dump so far. Money flow is aggressively leaving the asset on Market Cypher B. Bull divs, we do have some bull divs that are forming. I mean, we do have some pretty nice bull divs on the 1 hour that are forming, but what do I always say about Market Cypher B with money flow? I say bearish money flow will always overpower a single drive or multiple drives of bull div. Until you see that money flow starting to round off there, these bull divs will not kick in. Now, because we're forming some nice bull divs, once it does start to round off, if we can continue to form those bull divs, then that is when we could see a nice aggressive move to the upside where we would have the confirmation to enter that long. But generally, that's at a support level, not randomly in the middle of nowhere. It's at a support level. We did just come down just now to take out those lows, those internal lows at $65,150. Let's see. I want to check out our lower time frame here. Yeah, I would. Money flow still pretty aggressively leaving here. I think that we might even today see a drop to $63,200. And it's really like 63,167 is the level. 58K is the 200 week moving average too. Okay, very interesting. Now, guys, in the past, and I actually saw this from Ben Cowan, so I'll give him credit here. He made a video, I think it was yesterday or today, about the 200-week moving average. So first of all, once your 50-week moving average is lost, historically, once you lose the 50-week moving average, that's the signal of the bear market. But then if we look at our 200-week moving average, let's just MA, 200-week MA, let's see. I'll just throw this one on. So what? Yeah, very nice. Okay, $58,000 is our 200-week moving average. So historically, in the past cycles, let's zoom out to the weekly time frame. That 200-week moving average tends to be where you drop to. Once you start the bear market, you drop to the 200-week moving average. You bounce. You can see in 2020, we wicked past it with that COVID liquidation, but the weekly candle body closed at the 200-week moving average. Now, in the crypto FTX collapse, we did dump below it and spent a bit of time below it, spent some months below it. But for the most part, that 200-week moving average generally tends to be where you start to find a bottom on Bitcoin, and that is $57,000, $58,000. Very interesting there. Okay, TXRX, thank you so much for the super chat as well. You guys, I appreciate you so much. And it's not necessary to super chat, but I want to let you guys know that I really do appreciate that so much. Appreciate your guys' support and your generosity there. Really awesome of you guys. So thank you so much, TXRX. Thank you so much, Samuel S. I really do appreciate you guys. We're going to wick well below 58K too, probably flip it to resistance like last bear market. Yeah, that did happen in the last bear market. That 200 week was flipped to resistance right here and we dropped. Okay, guys, actually, I want to look at our fractal. Let me go to the index chart here. I want to look at our fractal from the last time. So do you remember, and Andy's been covering this a little bit, but do you remember the last time we saw we dumped for the initial all-time high, we dumped a big percentage breaking market structure on the weekly time frame bearishly. Then we saw that three-wave complex corrective move making a lower high, and then we dumped, right? And that is right kind of when the weekly money flow crossed over. So look at the similarities between 2021 and now. We had weekly bearish divergences on the chart. Money flow was draining out as that top range was forming. And as soon as the weekly money flow crossed into the red, that's when we saw capitulation happen. What is happening right now? Very similar. Bearish divergence on the weekly, even a triple drive of bearish divergence on the weekly. And we got that little relief rally, very similar looking to this relief rally. And then as soon as money flow crosses into the red, which it's doing in the past 2-3 weeks, capitulation to the downside. So we are seeing almost an exact fractal of what happened in the last bear market that is starting to happen now. I mean, what more do you need to say that we might be in a bear market here? And how much of a drop are you going to say it's going to take until you say we're in a bear market, right? Are you going to wait till it drops 60%, 70%? Because we're already down 40-something% or so. But if we look at this, very, very similar, and look at actually where we could be dropping to is, 49K. Actually, I should have probably pulled the whole. Let's do this. Let's pull the whole bear market. And let's just take this. I'm going to squish it up a little bit. Throw this on the chart. Yeah, could be coming down to our channel midline, and where actually I've had a potential mark for the bear market bottom for quite some time, taking out those 49K lows. So if we're going to see a repeat of what happened last time, it is looking pretty aggressively similar, and it's just Look at this price action here. Look at that. Like, that is so crazy the way this fractal looks. Even with the big dump that we're seeing today, matching last year's big dump that we're seeing. Look at that similarity there. 58K is also the 618. Let's see, 618 of, well, okay, it's your non-log golden pocket 618, but that's not the proper 61.8% retracement. And actually, that's why these lines are here. I covered this in the last stream. So anytime you see a high fluctuation in volatility from 15,000 to 126,000, that is more than a 10x, or yeah, a huge movement in price. What is that? I can't even do the math right now. It is a 700% move, over 700% move. And so when you're seeing such a high volatility move like that, if you pull a Fibonacci golden pocket, let me just hide this. If you pull a Fibonacci golden pocket from that low to that high, $57,000 is your non-logarithmic golden pocket. But that golden pocket is supposed to be a 61.8% retracement. That is not the proper 61.8% retracement, because if we're looking from all-time highs down to that 618, and then we're looking from the lows to that 618, right? That's your lows here and your highs. You can see that this is not 61.8% of the move. That is more like 31% of the move or 35% of the move. But when you shift it to the proper golden pocket by using the log scale, clicking this and clicking your settings, fibs based off log scale, it's going to give you your proper 61.8% retracement down to the actual 618, which in my opinion is important, because that actual 61.8% is what's ingrained psychologically in our minds subconsciously. So yes, your non-log golden pocket is coming in around there, and you do see bounces around the non-log golden pocket. A good example of that is when ETH just bounced from the non-log golden pocket. If we look at this move down, wow, ETH is coming down to a pitchfork band too. But if you look at ETH golden pocket, we did see a nice bounce from the non-log golden pocket there, but your proper log golden pocket was 2200, which it busted straight through, which is crazy. Man, 1800 guys. I did have a limit order to buy some Ethereum at the bottom of this pitchfork band, 1962, I think it was. I had so I did buy a little bit more Ethereum at 1962. And I'm underwater on that already. It's crazy. Yeah, Time Attack, thank you so much, guys. God is great. You guys are great. This community is so great. And I just want to say I appreciate all of you so, so much. Like, I'm really happy with what we've built here and what we're continuing to build and grow. And I just appreciate all the OGs in here that have been here from the beginning. I'll remember that. Let's just say that. I'll remember that. 50s is good, but I think, yeah, 50s, I mean, we play level to level, and we still do have some major levels before then, like 58K. You know, this dump is getting quite aggressive. And I have to say, the way that the volume is still increasing rapidly on the dump is quite concerning. Look at this daily candle that we're seeing today. The highest amount of volume that we've seen on the dump down from the all-time high. The highest amount from the all-time high down. That means that we might not be seeing a slowdown. I mean, really, 70K had to hold, guys. Now that 70K is not holding, we could work our way, I mean, at least to 58K, maybe even lower. Yeah, don't feel bad about being down a little bit. Tom Lee is down 50% on this ETH treasury company. Wow. Well, I remember Tom Lee too. He came out, I think it was like when Bitcoin, it already hit 80.5, and it was somewhere within this retrace, somewhere within this range. He came out on a major, I think it was a major news channel that's finance focused, and he talked about how 78K was going to be the bottom. Like 78K is the bottom. We'll be buying there. 78K. It's not going to break 78K. It's not going to go to 70K. It's not going to take out the 74K lows. And I just remember so strongly disagreeing with that based off the technicals. Man, you know, he's dealing with big money there. So when you're wrong with big money, that's when it really hurts. Yeah, he is a professional, right? Yeah, full port. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all of you so much. If you pull a channel from 2020, are we breaking down the uptrend? Okay, let's look at that. Let me see. I have a few long-term channels on the chart. If I think this channel is based off of that 2020 low. No, it's not. It's okay. Let's see. I know I have a few high time frame channels that we can look at. That is the channel. All right, let me come in here and I'm gonna just hide some of this stuff that we're seeing here. That is also, guys, 34K is our proper logarithmic golden pocket. It's also the most important support resistance flip in the last 5 years on Bitcoin, 5-6 years on Bitcoin. So I would say this area here is a major support level. But if we look at, okay, let me get back to where I was there. I'm going to hide that channel. Where did we go here? And we're going to turn on our macro channel. So this macro channel is pulled from the 2019, 2018 bear market lows to your COVID low up to your 65K highs. Now, we didn't quite make it up to the top of the channel. It was $145,000 to $150,000. The midline of that channel, now I'm not sure, you're probably not on log scale. Let's take this off a log scale. So I think you're thinking of a different channel. Let me put this back on log scale for a second, and then we'll look at this channel here from the COVID lows to our bear market lows in 2021 2. And I would probably bring it up to those. Actually, you'd want to bring it up to this high to be technical. Yeah, we're breaking it. We're breaking that trend to the downside. Now let's throw it on non-log scale. Yeah, you're breaking the trend to the downside either way. You're breaking back inside the channel in that case and coming down to 58,000. Actually, that's as far as our weekly, you know, you wicked up to hit it on the daily, on that weekly candle. And now we're rejecting. So you could see that's was our major trend. Came back up, bearishly back tested. You get the rejection. I want to check out a couple other high time frame things that we have here on the chart. So let me zoom out to the 3-day chart. And I want to look at some of my bigger pitchforks that we have here. All right, that was pulled from our 2015 low up to your first 2017 bull market high down to your 2018 bull bear market low. We do have some nice confluence how that band was holding. That upper band was holding at 74K, and then it flipped to resistance in this range right here. And now we're dumping. And look at, once again, guys, $57,000, $58,000, looking like multiple levels of massive confluence for major pitchforks. $58,000, $57,000. Wow. Okay, so that's another confluence for $58,000. Yeah, that's your COVID pitchfork. Okay. 2015 pitchfork. We are breaking that to the downside. And I want to show you guys one more thing here. So this channel goes back to 2013. This is a Fibonacci channel that goes all the way to 2013. And this main channel, so it was really, and I'm going to go out to the weekly real quick here. It was pulled from your 2013 highs, your bull market high, up to your next bull market high and down to that bear market low in between them, the 2015 bear market low. So that's the main channel, this structure here. Oop. Here and here. And then this is your midline of that channel. And we broke it to the downside. You can see how, let me come into this part now. During 2015, for the first time in Bitcoin's entire life, we broke it to the downside, back tested it, and really this entire bull market has been working on a back test to get back inside that mega bullish trend, and we haven't been able to. So the fact that now we're coming down here, what we rejected, now we're really starting to drop. But look at where the next major support for this Fibonacci channel is, at $34,000, $35,000. Are we going to see a drop, guys, in the next months to $35,000? Damn, you know, things could get wild. Okay, let me check the chat here. ADA to 1 cent. Yeah, it might, huh? Tony CC, God bless you, man, and much love to you. I know your mood is down and your account's down. That's always hard. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. Please keep going. As you're learning, you will make major mistakes that will hurt you. And in some ways, that hurt that you feel from this is going to power you to do it right the next time. To do it, and I'm not saying you're doing it wrong now, by the way, but to at least gain experience in the markets, this experience. Trust me, I have had to wreck many, many accounts in order to get to the point where I am now. So don't give up on yourself. Keep going with it. And if it's painful for you now, reset. If you wrecked your account completely, fine. You know, it is what it is. You can't change that now. So now what you can do is keep learning, maybe even open up a demo account if you need to, or open up an account with a small amount of money. If you have any left at all, or if you make some more money, put some in and work on building it. If you can't build $100 into $1,000 or 1,000 into 10,000, then it's about the process, right? So at first, if you're only trading with a $100 account and you're trading 1% per trade, you're going to be making dollars, you know, $2, $3 on your trades. And you're going to say, God, I'm wasting so much time and energy to make enough to buy a coffee. You know, not even today. Gosh, it's $10 to buy a coffee today at Starbucks or wherever. But the process is what's important, because once you get the process down, and once you get the confidence and experience down and the risk management down, that is when you can always scale up. We can always make more money, right? We can always restart. We can make more money, whether that's with trading or whether that's getting a actual job, you know, out in the real world, manual labor, whatever it is. But the process of learning trading and the process of experiencing the market volatility and the way the market moves, and especially like these big swings, capitulation, you know, fear and greed cycles, is what's going to empower you over time if you actually are honest with yourself and learn the discipline and the mistakes, you know, and put that into your experience of trading. You will in time look back maybe 5 years from now and say, damn, you know, I lost everything. I lost that account, but I start over. I'll tell you an experience that happened to me in 2020, in April of 2020. So I got into the market in like 2019, into crypto, into like in like late 2019. It was right around this area, and the bull market was really kicking off. And I remember in April of 2021, Coinbase was about to IPO, and everyone was so excited about Coinbase IPO, and it's gonna explode crypto, and it's mainstream, and you know, all this stuff like that. So in that hype, it was my first cycle. I was buying a lot of altcoins in this area. And then we dumped, even this dump to $30,000 destroyed the altcoins. Like all my altcoins, and I was buying a lot of stupid altcoins that didn't really have use cases and values, which never even recovered. So first of all, I turned $5,000 into $56,000, and then I lost a lot of it. Then I rebuilt up back my account. I started I lost all of it. I started it with another 5,000. I built it up into it was like $48,000. And I had most of my money in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I had it diversified like, you're supposed to do as a trader. Diversify your accounts. Don't keep it all in one spot. I had my money in Voyager. I had my money in BlockFi, and I had my money in Binance US and Coinbase. So four different exchanges. Well, most of my money was in BlockFi. And what ended up happening is Chapter 11 bankruptcy hit. We got the crash, and unfortunately at the time, I didn't listen to the warnings. I didn't pull my money out. I said, no, they're US-based exchanges. There's no way they're actually going to go under. There's no way. I lost pretty much all of it, and I think I made like 11 cents on the dollar back when they did their compensation plan. And on Voyager, I had all my Ethereum in Voyager, lost all that too. I barely, so I got wrecked again. Spent years building it up, got wrecked completely again. And I said, damn, crypto is just the Wild West. It sucks. I almost gave up because when you build up like that, it's very depressing to see it all go away. But I started over again. I said, I'll start over again. I started over again, kept learning more. That's always important. Always learn more. Always be honest with yourself about your risk management that you're taking. Always be honest with yourself about the learning process and not getting an ego with things if you start to win a few trades and stuff like that. And I built up again, and I built up and built up and built up, and I'm still building up, and I still take losses, and sometimes I still make stupid decisions. Shit, I just in April of this year, I bought some Chainlink at $14. I wrote it up to the what was it, $30, and didn't take any profit on it. Now I'm underwater on my Chainlink. I bought some more Chainlink at $11. Didn't take any profit on it. I did buy some SUI and sold 75% of it, but I bought SUI right here. I bought a bunch of SUI here. Now, I did sell some of it, 75% of it. Once we started breaking these highs and then losing those highs, I sold because I had learned. But I still have 25% of the SUI that I bought right here. So I'm way underwater on that SUI that I bought right here. But this is also a long-term play for me. Spot buys in particular, long-term plays for me. And I'm okay holding it underwater for quite some time if I have to. Because the good projects that I think will recover and will do well, I'm okay holding some underwater. But I feel for you, Tony. Please don't give up on yourself. Don't get too down on yourself. Just keep going with it, okay? Keep going with it. Peak. Yeah, Tom Lee's peak shilling was at 4,300 ETH. Wow. Ouch. Andrew, welcome in as well, man. Welcome. It's good to see you in here. One Up Trading. I'm in like 10 to 40 shorts right now. I'm getting ready with it. I'm getting greedy with it. Well, One Up Trading, we are not seeing any sign of strength. So hold it. Why not hold it until you actually hit a support level? By the way, guys, we're starting to break that $65,200 level. It was not a proper SFP, and I talked about probably we weren't going to see that because we front ran it and saw a small bounce. This is getting very aggressive to the downside. I would expect 63,150, 160 today. The most ironic thing is that internally, BitMine has been warning their investor major downside coming. Yeah, that's the crazy part, right, Mach HK? And he was probably selling, too, some of his own stuff. Man, I want to check our liquidations. So today, 140 longs have been liquidated. 140 million. ETH, actually, let's see, where is that? 24. No, in the last 24 hours, we've had $1.7 billion liquidated from the crypto market. That is just crazy. $488 million of Bitcoin just today. Like, that is so much. Look at that. Or actually, that's in the last 4 hours. Almost $500 million in the last 4 hours has been liquidated. $1.7 billion wiped from the market in the last day. 24 hours. Wow. Let's check this liquidation heat map out. Remember, all that liquidity was at 70K, guys. And if we didn't hold the liquidity at 70K that was down there, what's our next major liquidity level? What, 49K? At 49K is our next major liquidity level. I would say even this guy in here has some pretty, 52K, 52.5. People saying buy on TradingView is a top, or on TV is a top signal. Yeah. Okay, Michael Saylor earning report is today. Wow. What the F is he supposed to say about losing $40 billion in 4 months? I know. And guys, just the other day, Michael Saylor bought at $87,000. At $87,000, he was buying after the confirmation. Like, if this guy even hired a simple technical analyst to tell him, like, hey, we just had a major rejection here, it's likely we're going to go below 80.5K, so don't buy until you get below 80.5K. But no, he doesn't, I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand that guy sometimes. And, he buys at the highs. He's always buying. If we look at, like, let me see, I don't want to get too harsh on the guy, but let's, I'm just going to look something up here. I'm looking up his Bitcoin buy history. Okay. So he purchased, at $77,000, he purchased another $75 million worth. But I'm trying to find that chart of his buying of Bitcoin. But if you look at the chart when he buys Bitcoin, he generally tends to buy it towards the tops of pumps. After it's pumped 15, 20%, he'll buy it towards the top. He doesn't wait to buy towards dips. It's like he has the exact opposite strategy of, like, Warren Buffett and Ray Dalio and those big investors that buy the blood. It's just wild to me, guys. Wow, we're starting to even, we saw a little bit of longs coming in the last hour, and we're really starting to, let me get back to this here. And we're even starting to squeeze those out. I mean, right now, it's just a crazy, see how we're squeezing down in the past 15 minutes? We saw some longs. I'll go into the 5-minute here, and every single person that's longing is just getting wiped out. That's why I'm saying, guys, do not try to catch the knife today. I am not taking a long trade until I see a real sign of strength. But look at this. We saw in the last hour some longs stepping in. They were fresh longs, and now we're dumping, and we're seeing another short squeeze. Excuse me, another long squeeze. Those longs are getting stopped out, liquidated. It's just crazy what we're seeing here. Okay, we're coming down to 63,200 right now. I am not going to try to catch the knife, like I said, but I am expecting some sort of relief here. At least a bounce, or at least some sort of slowdown here at $63,200, guys. And this is capitulation. What is happening today, for sure, is capitulation happening in the markets. We drop straight through our major support. Look at that daily candle. That is capitulation if I've ever seen it before. So let's see if $63,200 can give us some sort of relief or bounce, or at least slowdown of this giant knife to the downside. This is just wild. Remember when we were live on October 10th, and we were also saying that was what a day in crypto that was? Let's see how big that dump was on one day. That was a 16.62% dump in one day, a $20,357 dump on Bybit. Well, let's look at today. Might even be bigger than that. Let's get in here. It's almost as big as that October 10th dump. Right now, it is a $10,000, a 13.5% dump, about a $10,000 dump to the downside so far today. 73 to 63. That is wild. All right, let me catch up here. Some slowdown necessary, if not love, then 60 to 59. Yes, TXRX, absolutely agree. I am not going to even attempt a long until we see some slowdown, until we see some sort of sign of relief. And let's go on to the 1 hour chart. Let's look at our volume. Is volume still increasing on this dump? No. Okay, now look at volume is starting to decrease on the dump to the downside. So this is at least looking a little better, right? We are starting to see volume drop as we're getting lower. Let's go to the 15-minute chart, and I want to look at how, man, I don't like how it's starting to spike again in the last 30 minutes. But overall, we want to see this continuing to go down here as we're getting lower. Mark Dutch, welcome in, my man. Thank you guys all so much for being here. And Mark Dutch, thank you for modding for me as well. AVAX is at all-time low. And Machi HK, I remember you called that because I was looking at the Coinbase chart and we bottomed at, what was that? It was at like 15, I'm on the wrong, we bottomed at $17 on October 10th or something like that, $15. And I was saying, you know, I don't know if it actually was $17. And you said, no, the Bybit chart dumped to 8. And I think we're going to come down and grab those lows. And you were right. You were right. By the way, this was the ultimate short that we took on our channel live. The SFP into a point of control, into our naked weekly point of control, into our weekly level, into a daily level, and into our logarithmic golden pocket. This is another reason why you use logarithmic golden pockets, guys. Another reason, and a same thing on Solana at $148. It was our log golden pocket right here. If you pulled from the last daily high to the low and you took it off log scale, yeah, it's off log scale now, you didn't hit the golden pocket. But because that was a 32% dump to the downside, remember, to the downside, if it's more than 30%, you want to put it on log scale. To the upside, if it's more than 100%, you want to put it. That was a 32% dump. So you take this and you put it on log scale. Where did we reject? Exactly at the 618. That psychological level that's ingrained into our psyches, into our minds, guys. The 618. We hit it. We SFP'd the range highs right into it. We were looking for this short ahead of time. You got that perfect short from 147 into your $148K, not $148 golden pocket, and extreme dumpage to the downside. We are coming to, actually, we just SFP'd a major low on Solana here, but I would look to come down to around $73.50. 73.5. Maybe we're going to see some sort of reaction from this low here. But gosh, this is looking like that weekly distribution might be starting to play out. And I warned about this last week and the week before. You know, left shoulder, head, right shoulder in here. And if this small range and this value area low didn't hold as accumulation, then we were about to see some distribution to the downside. And it looks like that is what is occurring. 75 could just be your first bounce to backtest 123 before dropping down potentially into the mid 30s, mid to low 30s. Crazy stuff we're seeing here. I remember a Dutch guy saying he'd buy AVAX around $4. Mark, are you planning to buy around $4? AVAX is one of the projects that I do plan to accumulate. Random Trader, thank you. Thank you for being here, man. And welcome in. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, so thank you. Welcome in. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, Dividend, thank you for being here as well. And of course, I'm glad to be streaming. It's great to have some company during this bloodbath. Yeah. Guys, we've caught live now. We caught the October 10th dump live, and now we're catching this one live. So I guess around this time, New York close is a pretty good time to look at potential dumps. Now, that's a good point. The markets are starting to close here. And are we going to see a slowdown in the dumpage, even though the crypto market never closes? Yeah, please hit the like button for me, guys. Really quickly here, I do want to cover the partners of the channel. Really quickly, I'll keep an eye. If we come down to that 63,200, I will resume here. But really quickly, while we're seeing a little bit of a bounce, I want to talk about the partners of the channel. So the main partner is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link in the description, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% if you deposit large amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in the futures markets. And they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. So if you deposit $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest I've seen on any exchange for $100. And then they're for $500, you get 20%, $1,000, you get 20%, and then $5,000 to $20,000, you can get a 10% deposit bonus. If you're interested, signing up, the link is in the description below. I've also partnered with BYDFI to create that Telegram community where I try to keep you guys updated on my trades, updated on Bitcoin, on the market throughout the days and when I'm not streaming. If you're interested in joining that, I also try to post my trade setups in there for you guys. I'll let you know when I do take a trade. So if you're interested in joining that Telegram community, it is free. All you need to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and then deposit $100 into the exchange. Once again, like I explained earlier in the stream, that $100 is your money still. You're just depositing on the exchange in hopes that you will trade on the exchange. It's an incentive for you guys to try out the exchange. You guys will get the 20% discounts on trading fees. You can get the 50% deposit bonus if you KYC, and you can get access to the Telegram community. And once you're in, you're in. So once you've deposited the money into the exchange, there's a Telegram link in the description of this video. Click that Telegram link, and once you're in the Telegram, type in /verify in your BYDFI user ID, which will be right up here. It's going to be a string of letters and numbers, most likely for you guys, but /verify your user ID, and you'll be in the Telegram. And once you're in, guys. And that might be changing in the next few months here as well. I might be doing something a little bit different. So if you guys are interested in joining, I would recommend doing it within the next couple of months here. Also, the next partner of the channel is NAMI Trading. And NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator below market cipher B. I use it for my confirmations on trades. For instance, as we're dumping, do we see bull divs on the daily time frame? No, they're getting invalidated. So right now, I am more bearish because our bull divs that we've been seeing have now been getting invalidated here, seeing major volume to the downside. So I am waiting for major positions, or for all positions. I'm waiting to see bull divs on the chart. I'm waiting to see how money flow looks. It's my confirmations for entering and exit trades once we get to my key levels. Price action first, indicator second. So I'm using it for confirmation on my trade entries, my trade exits, whether to get into a trade or not. And it's helped me tremendously in my trading. It has helped me stay out of bad trades. If you're interested in purchasing NAMI, I've partnered with them to get you guys 50% off. If you click the affiliate link in the description and type in Divine50 in the promotion box, in the discount code box, you guys can get 50% off NAMI. Lastly, I have MEXC and Bybit, just two other exchanges that I'm partnered with. Bybit's offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses, and MEXC's offering a 10% initial deposit bonus up to $1,000. All right, let's get back to the TA here, guys. This is crazy. There's not much we can do here. I would love to take a trade with you guys today, but while this is dumping, obviously we're not going to short right now, even though you probably could randomly make money there. But as a trader with risk management in my mind, with every trade I take, I cannot short when we're near support levels. Now, when we back tested and lost 70K earlier today, 68K, man, you could have shorted this. It would have been risky, in my opinion. You could have shorted it down to the next major levels, but look how far away we're getting from the VWAP. And generally, when you get that far away from the VWAP, you do tend to see some sort of relief, at least to come back up to the VWAP. And the VWAP will obviously snap and reset at market close today, which is in a few hours here. But let's see if we can't see a bounce here. We pretty much came down to our point of control support, guys, at $63,200. Who let the bears out? That's true, Samuel S. Like, they are out in full force. Now we're seeing that squeeze, that long squeeze. But okay, look at this. Very interestingly, in the past 10 minutes, we're seeing some longs step in here. Little bit, but we're seeing some longs, and I think they might be they're trying to catch a knife. We actually haven't hit the 2-to-1 Fibonacci expansion level, and we actually haven't hit the POC yet. Let me just zoom in, and I want to make sure I'm going to get that POC right on. right there. 63,150 is pretty much your POC. Now, with how aggressive this dump has been today, guys, I would not be surprised if tomorrow we see a relief rally to fill some of this imbalance. Look at this giant imbalance that has been created for the day so far. That is one large fair value gap right there. That will be a daily fair value gap, a huge imbalance in the market. And those tend to be corrected. They do tend to be corrected. So let's see if we're going to get some relief. We're going to get a bounce and some relief here. Now that we lost 70K so aggressively, we might see a bounce from 63K to come up to 70K and reject 70K and then come down to 58 to 57. Is the Epstein files a reason for this dump? Honestly, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I know there's massive fear right now, and there's pretty much like this sell America trade happening in the world. That could be some of it. The Epstein files could be some of it. Uncertainty is what is feared most in markets. The market would rather knowingly have bearish information that they can plan and trade for rather than uncertainty. And right now we're seeing massive uncertainty in the global markets, in the global economy, but also in the United States in particular. So this is what the market hates the most. And you will see massive sell-offs when this happens. The scary thing is, guys, okay, we're coming down right now to hit that level. We're hitting the level. We're hitting the level. Let's see how we react. Hitting the level right now. Money flow still looks bearish AF on the 12-minute. 5 minutes, no bull divs. No bull divs. So right now, because we're not seeing lack of confirmation that I would want to see, I will wait. Now, we are seeing some nice 30-minute bull divs in here. Nice 30-minute bull divs. Lower lows, higher lows in here. Money flow starting to bottom out here. We see bull divs in the money flow and bull divs on NAMI. So this is that trade setup I look for. So on the 30-minute, I'm actually seeing enough to start being interested. Look at this bounce that we're starting to see here. All right. If we can come down man, I think we could start to see, let's see if we're seeing any long step in here. Well, I know we are, but let's see how much we're going to see. Son of a bitch. Where are you at? Yeah, we're starting to see some long step in right now. Some fresh longs are stepping in. Let's see if we can't get some sort of reaction. Yeah, this is just a normal cycle, but this is definitely the capitulation part of the cycle, Mark Dutch, for sure. My TP is 62.2. Well, I think we just hit your TP, bro. I need a doubling in likes. Yeah, please hit the like button, guys. If you're just enjoying the live stream, or if you got any sort of insight or learnings from this, please hit the like button for me. Below 71K, all the ETF is mostly of institutional money dries up because that's where they entered. Well, Decrypto, there was a lot that entered in the 70s, but they also, a lot of the ETFs were buying that 2024 range, this range in here. Remember, anytime we got towards the lows of the range, we saw massive buying in 2024 in those ETFs, those spot ETFs. So this area in general, and the POC is the most important part of this area, is where they're going to defend. And that's why we're starting to see some reaction from that POC right now, because institutional money is really going to try to defend their overall position in this area. Man, Michael Saylor is probably shitting himself today, huh? When do you expect a 90K back? Man, that's hard to say. I want to see some slowdown first here. I want to see some sort of range, because the range could be a couple days or the range could be a couple months. We don't know what's going to happen here. You know, it could be quite some time, CJ. But CJ, remember me, you kept asking me, are you still thinking that we're going to come take out the 74K lows? Are you still thinking we're going to come down and take to 70K? And I kept telling you when we were in this range, Yes, I still think this is a corrective range in here, and I still do think, especially after we held the value area low, I was expecting the move up to the POC, but I was also expecting a major rejection here. And from this area, I was expecting to come down and at least take out 74. And I actually was expecting to come down to 70. Now, I didn't think we would get this. But I've been pretty consistent on that we should see some sort of dump here. Now, guys, honestly, this is at the 2-to-1 Fibonacci expansion target. So if we're looking at a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, our fifth wave is now 2 times as long as our fourth wave correction. And it is probably as long as our third wave or longer. Our third wave was 35,885. And this right now is 30. So it's almost the same length as your third wave. Now, here's another thing, guys. In an impulse with an expanded fifth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your expanded fifth wave is usually as long or longer than your third wave. That's what an expanded fifth wave is. And it's very rare. It's rare, but it does happen, especially on blow-off tops or on capitulations. So we are literally we're pretty much right there right now. This was 35, almost 35,885. Where is it? Right here. $35,885. So let's just say 36,000 roughly. And this is coming down to 35,000. So we're only $1,000 less than $1,000, like $800 less than your third wave. That is similar in symmetry there. The symmetry is very similar. And in that expanded fifth capitulation, can we now see, now the world is especially going to be majorly bearish on crypto after today, can we see a sort of rally come in here? We really want to see impulsive waves kick in from here. Or, I still think that this could be a wave 1, a wave 2. All of this is a wave 3. We might get a wave 4 to back to 70K before getting a wave 5 to end at 57, 58 within your larger fifth wave. But this is just wild. Okay, Bybit didn't hit it. Bybit hit 62.9. Wow, okay, so Coinbase is dumping more than Bybit. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean 62 to 63,200. 63,150 is the level we were looking at. And Bybit has hit it, and so has Coinbase. Bybit came down to 62.9. So I didn't mean 62.2, I meant 63.2. I went gigalong on Bitcoin at 72K. I'm stuck now. Oh, man. Well, CJ, we might see a relief rally in the next days here, especially from this level of support we're hitting right now as we speak. We might get a rally up to 72K. But, man, anytime you're planning, and I don't want to be too harsh on you here, but say you were planning to long 72,000, you should have had some sort of invalidation and a stop loss where if you lost your support level, you get out of that trade. And I get that this has happened super fast in one day. So you said, okay, wait, it's going to bounce. Well, I'll just let it because it's going to come back up. Okay, wait, it's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. Before you know it, you're at $63,000. Stop losses are so important to use, guys. It's better to lose, even if lose your 1% or lose your 3%, or even if you're trading with 5% down here, it's better to lose that 5% than to hold on to it, hoping that you're going to see a reversal and saying, I can't be wrong here. It's major support. This was major support. Make no mistake about it. The fact that we sliced through it with no reaction at all is really bearish and quite depressing there. CJ, what are you using leverage? If you're using leverage, what's your liquidation price? And I guess you say 72 is going to be your break even to get back in that. And yeah, like, so what's your liquidation price on that long position? At least Bitcoin dominance is dropping. Wow. Well, that means Bitcoin's just dumping faster than the altcoins in this case, because the altcoins are dumping too. Wow, it is really dropping though, and we're losing that channel. Actually, this was our big multi-year channel. Wait, that's CME futures, not dominance. Sorry, guys. It is dropping though. We're starting to lose this ascending channel, which is nice. All right, let me get rid of some of this small shit in here. This is old. So we rejected the value area high of our range again, and we're starting to lose value area low. That's actually good. We're starting to lose this ascending channel, and we're starting to lose value area low. Now, let's watch for a little liquidity grab per se, even though it's not liquidity. Let's watch for a grab of 58.5%, and we might start to rise up on Bitcoin dominance again. Okay, let's see. 57K anchored VWAP. Yep, that Brother Nature Joe, that's where I'm watching too. 57.58 is a major. I went gig along at 72. Okay, yep, Coinbase massive selling. So can we at least regain 67? Yeah, let's see. Crypto OG Havoca. Let's see if we can regain 67. Every dang time for me too. I should know better by now. Like I said, it was when I turned my money into $300, $400. I think I put on my dumbest cap. Yeah, so Tony, just like I said earlier, it's very tempting, even knowing that we were probably going to see some sort of bounce from this level. I didn't long it just now, even though I thought, yeah, look at, we would already, if we set a limit order at 63,150, I would be up on that trade at least temporarily. But with the massive volatility we are seeing, I'm sitting on my hands. I'm not touching a dang thing until I see some sort of relief. I am not trying to catch a giga knife to the downside. And I am not trying I don't care about sharing a screenshot with you guys saying, oh, look at, I caught the exact bottom. I'm the best trader here. You know, this for me is about making money and proper risk management. So if I have to wait for, why does this, dang it. Sorry, guys. If I have to wait for some sign of strength by breaking some local highs and then a retracement, I will look to long the retracement after a sign of strength. But until that happens, with what we are seeing to the downside, I am not interested. And I don't care if I don't catch the absolute bottom. The absolute bottom's not necessary to get. You could long the absolute bottom right now. Your stop, let's say it's going to go below the anchored VWAP, and you're looking to target, you know, the 86K value area low of your macro range. That is a 6-to-3 risk reward ratio. Now, let's say on the other hand, you're looking to wait for a sign of strength, break local market structure bullishly by breaking a lower high on the charts. You get that retrace to the golden pocket. And I would just, let me just pull a fake golden pocket real quick. Yeah, retrace to the golden pocket. And then I'm going to long the golden pocket. My stop is going to go below that low. And I'm going to target the same level. Now it's a 14-to-1 risk to reward ratio instead of a 6-to-1. So even though I didn't catch the absolute bottom, and I'm not going to have that awesome screenshot of the absolute bottom, because I waited for confirmation and I looked for a long on the back test after seeing sign of strength, I have a better trade, way better risk to reward ratio here, rather than trying to catch the absolute bottom and brag on Twitter or something. This is what it is to be a proper trader. So sometimes it is best to sit on your hands and wait until you see that proper sign of strength, till you see some sort of confirmation enter. And right now we are not seeing any confirmation to enter this thing. And it's just, yes, I'm bullish on the USDT, US plus the USDC chart. Yeah, man. Is USDT depegging? I wonder if we're seeing a depeg right now at all. Total market cap is just going crazy. Guys, look at this dump. And I'm telling you, that rejection right there, I warned everyone that if we start to lose this pitchfork, we could see major dumpage to the downside. We could even come down and take out this low, which is equal to Bitcoin's 49K low, I want to take a volume profile of this entire range. We're losing the value area low of this range. That is so bearish to me. That is so freaking bearish, guys, that we are losing the value area low of our last 2 years almost of price action on the total market cap. And not just losing it with increased volume to the downside, with money flow just crossing into the red after we've confirmed multiple drives of high time frame bear div on the weekly and the monthly time frame. Are we expecting relief soon? Absolutely. Is this relief likely to give us a lower high before continuing a bear market? Absolutely. 12.5 incoming on USDT. Did it already break those highs? Wow. Wow. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, we looked at this possible bull flag breakout. Was it last week or was it on Tuesday? I don't know. It was earlier in the week or earlier. We looked at this before it happened, but we were looking at this channel. And if we breaked out, we wanted to either back test it and continue higher, or you see the straight breaking. And that's what we're seeing. But look at this sucker. Crazy. Voice is different. I'm sorry. I'm getting time attack. I guess I'm getting a little bit excited, huh? I won't be too worried about Tether. Tether actually holds more gold than Bitcoin. Well, that's awesome. How's gold doing today? Gold's holding up a lot better, but it's still dumping. Man, I took profit on my gold long at 5,500 when we hit the top of this pitchfork band. And on silver, I showed this to Jason, and I can't trade silver on BYDFI. They're going to get it soon, but I called this. This was the 2-to-1 Fibonacci extinction level in confluence with that pitchfork. And now look at this. Lost the pitchfork, back tested the pitchfork, and rejecting. So I expect new lows below this low at $71. And I even told Jason, I don't want to show you guys our private messages, but I told him that I'm looking for silver to come down to 56 to 47. And at 47 is where I'll start buying. So if we're looking at the Elliott waves here, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 came up to your 2-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. Your wave 4 is likely to come down between 58 to 47. 47 is where I'll really look to buy. It's a daily level in there. It's that daily order block, kind of that liquidity down there. And then we could get one more rally to make a new high to come up to potentially 160, 170. So I literally tried to warn everyone on Jason's stream there. Everyone, let me see if I can just... Oh, Machi HK, I just checked Discord and saw you sent me some stuff. I'll look at that in just a second here. I'm going to... I was showing Jason here, 58 to 46 swing long territory for me. 47 to 46 being the ultimate swing long for the fifth wave to at least break the highs. Fourth wave should take some considerable time though. But I was showing him that. Can you guys even see that? I'm sorry, that's horrible. But anyways, that was your silver short from $117. BTC is below 63K. Wow, guys, this is nuts. This is capitulation. Let's see if we're going to go to 58 today. We might drop to 58 today. That's actually tough to say. that you can see it drop that big. Let's see, is there anything in here? We do have a daily level. I wonder if this is marked on my chart already. 62.5 is a daily level, right around that. We're starting to break that already. And do we have any weekly level at 55, monthly levels? That's been hit already at 59. Crazy stuff we're seeing here. Let's see if this general area can hold 62.5 to 63.2. Obviously, we're starting to break it down right now. Let's check our order flow here. What are we seeing? If we're seeing long step in now, we can continue the long squeeze down. All right, so we're seeing fresh shorts coming in right now at the bottom. That's actually a good thing, guys. We're seeing shorts come in right now at the bottom. So you can see how your open interest is kind of rising here. And those were short positions. This could give us a little bit of a short squeeze. If we can reclaim 63.2, then we could possibly look for a scalp long here. What I would want to see is if we reclaim that, we can long this area. Stop would go right below that low. And honestly, I would just be targeting the first change in market structure as a TP1. That's a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio there. I would probably be targeting coming back up to hit the VWAP at the very least. The VWAP's probably going to reset before that happens, though. But to retest the value area high of your previous range. Now that we're back inside the previous range. Now today, on the other hand, if we close the daily candle below 63,150, it's likely we move to the value area low of that range. Okay, because once you start to get back inside the range, you're likely to fill it. If the POC of this range doesn't hold, you're likely to fill the range. So the value area low of that range is at 60,000. 60,850. That's your previous value area low. Previous value area low, we'll put that on the right. Is anyone here who can donate to cancer patients? Donate for cancer patients. We are right at the weekly fair value gap. Okay, let me check that on the weekly chart. Yeah, so we're filling that fair value gap. You're right. I guess it's already kind of been filled, though. No, that's not even really a fair value gap, though, because you can see the wick from the week before comes up and the wick from the week after comes down. So the fair value gap was only this little small chunk here because you have wickage into the candle and wickage into the candle here. So that's actually not a fair value gap there. Not much of a fair value gap there. But on the daily time frame, there's probably a fair value gap within that area. Yeah, let's see. You do have some of a fair value gap in there. But now, well, I guess not even. Yeah, it's been filled. Look at, so you see how it's gray right here? So we're pretty much filling this daily fair value gap. We've pretty much filled it. It was from 64.8, let's say, down to about, what is this? 63,200. All right. Wow. We're starting to get a push back up, guys. Dang it. What am I doing? Wow. Nice reclaim here. Short stepped in right at the bottom. Look at this. Shorts stepped in right at the bottom here. We are starting, and actually, holy cow, we are seeing some major shorts step in right now. Look at this. All of this is shorts, and they're fresh shorts that are stepping in right now. This could be our short squeeze here. This could be it. Watch, we're going to pump up to the VWAP pretty damn quickly if we can start to break. Jeez. Okay. Wow, look at this. Here we go, guys. Short squeeze in progress. And this could get quick. This could get very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. We are about to see one hell of a short squeeze. Watch for a move up to VWAP. Seriously, we might move all the way back up to 68K. Now, here's the thing, guys. If we can close the daily candle above 68K and you see a giant wickage like you saw on October 10th, if we see a repeat of October 10th, let me go back to the Bybit chart. And this is going to be very important here. Let's take this candle here. If we can see a repeat of October 10th, we could see a decent rally within the next. Actually, let's do this. Bars candle. Because what we want to see is that candle close up above 68K. If we get that, we might see a decent move. That didn't work out. That didn't look the way I wanted it to. But look at what happened on October 10th. Huge wick down. When we were doing it live, we said, oh my God, what is happening? But you were able to close your daily candle up thousands of dollars. If that can happen today, that would be a good sign. That was a $10,000 wick, almost $11,000 wick. Can we see that happen today? This was capitulation, though. This was capitulation that happened today. We wrecked everyone, and now we're pushing, potentially pushing. Let's go look at the last 24 hours. Where's our liquidity at? It's at 72. So, CJ, we might be able to get back up to 72. Let's hope. Man, AGGR is broken. Yes, go easy because we are definitely not going to the all-time high. I expect a lower high, and we could even finally see now, guys. I know I sound excited. This is excited for an internal move, so don't think that this is done and over with. This bear market pretty much is confirmed by losing 70K. It's pretty much confirmed that we're probably going to go down to 58, but should it take some time? Probably. So what we want to see here within this fifth wave, 1, 2, all of this is obviously a 3, which, by the way, 63.1, 63 was that area that we talked about beforehand. And now we could see a retrace in a wave 4 before seeing a wave 5 down to 58, where this could be the end of the, and then we could see a major rally from there. So let's see, let's pull our Fibonacci targets here live from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3. We're going to put on our wave 4 targets. So 73,000, 72,990 to 76,300. That is going to be our target zone for a wave 4. Another way to count this, it's 1, 2, all of this was a 3, this was your 4, and this was a 5, but I don't like that. Because you had increasing volume on this dump today. So you would have to say this is the wave 3. All right, let me see here. After the VWAP, it gets more, it's been more, after the VWAP, it is more aggressive downside. It could be. If we reject from the VWAP again, it could continue with the downtrend. Mindset, you watch the charts from all exchanges. There are massive buy walls every 5,000. Drop today. Yeah, okay. Would love to hear the pump song right now. Yes, me too. Right at market close for the short squeeze. Yep, makes sense, right? Makes sense that we get some relief coming at market close. Short's about to get wrecked. Please let me get enough to join the Telegram today. Tony CC, yeah, man, I would love it if you're in the Telegram with us. I really would. And if I could do anything about that, I actually asked for a friend already if they would let me just put you in there. But BYDFI, it is a professional partnership, and I can't be doing favors for certain people, and that's what they kind of explained to me. So I'm not going to push it with them. I'm, yes, it is. They reached out to me for the partnership. They wanted me, but I also have to. It's a partnership, not a dictatorship here. So I want to respect that. Yes, Wendell. Yes, I will. So we hit $62,500 ish, which was our daily level was at 62,850. And that point of control is at 63,150. So that was our zone for a bounce. We are starting to see a bounce from that zone. It wicked a little bit past it, but right now we're coming up to $64,300. Now we need to see a change in market structure. So let's go to the 12-minute chart. I like to look at low time frame market structure change because I told you guys I'm not longing this until I see a market structure change. So if we can break the $66,500 area of resistance. It's a lower high on the charts. So you saw lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. If we can break 66.5 and then see a retrace to the golden pocket, I will long the golden pocket. But I need to see a break in market structure first. And that's the way I'm playing this with the aggressive dump that we're seeing today. Now, we might see a short squeeze and we might not see any retracement. We might short squeeze straight up here. That's on you guys, whether you want to take the trade or not. With the massive volatility and the what I've learned in the past, I'm not willing to take that chance right now. Yes. Well, thank you, Tony. I really hope to see you in there soon, man. I really do. You see a cup in handy on the 1 second time frame. Well, let's see here. Awesome. Samuel, yeah, you know what? We might see a cup and handle, huh? On the 1 second. Oh, wait, did you say 1 second or 1 minute? Oh, that's so funny. All right. I know you're half kidding there or kidding. We have traded the 15-second time frame in Jason's Discord, and he did the 5 second, but I changed it to the 15-second, and I actually showed him about how the 15-second works better with his strategy than the 5 second. And so for a while he was changing it to the 15-second, but I think he put it back to the 5 second. I'm not sure. Yes. Tony, just keep studying, man. Just keep studying. Tune into the live streams, not just mine. There's other good traders. Coons was live today. I caught some of his live stream today. I've learned a lot of Elliott Waves from him. Andy from Bitcoin Consensus, Jason Casper. These guys are verified, legit traders, and learn from them, learn strategies, try out a few different strategies, try out whatever strategy and find one that works for you. And once you get that strategy, now work on your discipline and risk management. And actually, I would say work on your discipline and risk management as you're learning anything, Divine, I don't know if you answered my question, but I'm looking for the next multi-thousand short. Where would you look for that? On Bitcoin, I would probably look. So obviously, well, we kind of had a multi-$1,000 short today, but now what I would be looking for is potentially that 382 to the 0.5 Fibonacci from 72,990 to 76,300. Because if we're looking at within the fifth wave, remember, this is the larger fifth wave to end our impulse down. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if we need one more low within this fifth wave, and that's very risky, 1, 2, 3, we need a retrace and a 4 before seeing a 5 come in. So if we can get a short from 73,000 or 76,000, it could bring us all the way down to 57, 58. But that is highly risky after a 50% dump on Bitcoin. That's highly risky. I would have to see major confirmations at 73,000 or 76,000 to take the short. On the other hand, let's say that this fifth wave is done with. Let's say that our impulse to the downside is done now. 1, 2, 3, 4. It ended on capitulation today. It's not likely to end on a big spike in volume, by the way, guys. We had a huge spike in volume today, and it's not likely to end on a spike in volume like this. But let's say that it is done, and we start to retrace up to 85,000, where our value area low was, and we start to reject from that value area low. That is when we could come down to 58K as well. So we'll keep an eye on this in Lost X. I know that you're in here all the time with us during the live stream. So when I am looking at that swing short, because I would love to see that too, I would love to catch that too, I will try to keep you updated, and I'll keep you guys all updated in the Telegram, of course, as well. But 85,000, just like when we lost our Fibonacci channel, guys, remember we lost the Fibonacci channel? We back tested the Fibonacci channel, and we couldn't get back inside, and that's when we saw this big aggressive dump. Or on the total market cap, when you lost the pitchfork and you back tested the pitchfork, if I could have shorted the total market cap chart, I would have shorted it right here because I was at the charts telling you guys and making a video while it was happening. And we would have got that huge multi-$1,000 drop to the downside. So that's what we will be looking for. But now we could say our wave 3 came down here, our wave 4 and our wave 5, and that's going to be our bigger fifth wave. And overall, by the way, guys, overall, this plan, oh, wow, coming down to our previous all-time highs. Our plan of the bigger ABC correction is still not been invalidated. So let me just explain here why I've been looking at this so much. ABC, and now our C could, we ended our 5-wave weekly impulse at 109K. Then we broke market structure bearishly on the weekly time frame by breaking, and I know I'm on the 3-day right now, but we did break market structure bearishly on the weekly time frame by breaking that low of 89,256. Okay? You can even see we broke it, flipped it to resistance, and then made a new low. After that, we get our rally in a flat correction between the 1.236 and the 1.382. We came right up to that target, hit the pitchfork midline, rejected perfectly. Within your C wave, you're looking for an impulse in a C, because an ABC is a 5 and an A, a 3-wave corrective move in a B, and then another 5 in a C. That's a A, B, C to the upside. This is a flat ABC, but we're still looking for a 5-wave impulse within A. We're still looking for a 5-wave impulse within C. And I would have to say that this does look impulsive right here. The very bearish scenario, there is a very, very bearish scenario here, guys, that we could be in a double 1-2 impulse. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, and then 3, and then 4, 5, 4, 5. But that is unlikely because, first of all, we didn't see overlap between the lows of 1 and the highs of your second 2 if this was an internal 2. But also, your second 1, 2 is larger than your first 1, 2, and you generally want it to be the other way around. You want your primary 1, 2 to be the bigger price action, and then your secondary 1, 2 is usually smaller in price action. Then you get your 3. So it's not likely, but that is our ultra bearish scenario. I want to check another thing out here. Let's pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the all-time high down to your 80.5K lows up to your 98K highs. And let's look at our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. Wow, would you look at that? That is actually very interesting. We bottomed exactly at our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. Now, this is very interesting because another scenario we were talking about was a WXY in here where you could end it and then you would see the rally, right? So this is actually a very, very interesting development. We're hitting the exact 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction target on the log scale and bouncing. I might have to rethink some things here because I threw this on the chart the other day. Let me see. Is it on this chart? I showed you guys this in yesterday's video. WXY. And what are we looking at? So let me go back to the Binance chart. If this is going to be a WXY correction, because there is a way to count this as a WXY in here. So in a WXY complex correction, You're looking for a 3-wave move within W. This could be counted as a 3-wave move. You're looking for a 3-wave move within a Y, or an X, excuse me. We did have that 3-wave move there. And then within the Y, you're looking for a 3-wave move. So we could have had the ending of our Y wave with capitulation, where that just final push down was very aggressive. But there actually is a scenario where we could bottom out here, WXY, and in your Y, we saw that running flat for a week be the, the move up within the Y, and then this move down could be the capitulation within the wave Y. We are hitting our 1-to-1 target absolutely perfectly at 62,541, and we are bouncing. This is very interesting development here. Very, very interesting. Man, you know what? I would love to honestly ask Coons about this. Coons is that good. I refer to him with Elliott Waves for anything because he's the best I know. Far better than me, guys, at Elliott Waves. Pretty much everything I've learned is from him. So I would love to know his theory on this. And maybe maybe I'll reach out to him and ask him about that. Okay, let me start reading the chat here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm way behind the chat. All right. Yeah, market structure. Mark Dutch's comment to you, Tony, is important. Start learning market structure. Market structure is king, guys. Market structure is king. And that's why I said earlier in the live stream that I'm waiting for a break in market structure on the 12-minute and then the retrace in order to actually take a long here. Break in market structure, then come down to a golden pocket. Why do I need to sign up for BYDFI before joining the Rail Telegram? Well, because BYDFI partnered with me. They're the ones who created the Telegram. They're the ones who run the Telegram for me. So it's a partnership. And part of the deal of them running it for me and them keeping everything organized and good for me is for me to have an incentive for them to do that. So the incentive for them to do that is to get people to join their platform. That's the way I could make it free for you guys. I was trying to do the best for you, a win-win for everyone. First of all, when you sign up for BYDFI, you get the minimum 20% discounts, but depending on how much you deposit, you can get higher discounts on your trading fees. You can get deposit bonuses that are some of the highest in the industry, and it's free. Like, I'm not charging a monthly fee for this. So a lot of people will charge 100, 200, 70, 50 a month. I'm trying to do everything for free for you guys. And this was a way that I saw that we could do this for free. Because what I do, and I've been completely transparent and honest with you guys from the beginning, but whatever exchange you trade on, you're going to pay trading fees, right? When you enter a market position, right? Market long, market short, or a limit long or a limit short, there's fees associated with that. So whether you're trading on BYDFI or Binance or Bybit, you have those fees you're paying to the exchange. All that I get from this, Bybit is not paying me at all, except for a portion of the fees you guys would already give to the exchange. And so that's the incentive for me, because I earn a portion of your trading fees. And then for them, obviously, they're happy to have people trading on their exchange because they make fees from it as well. So it's kind of like a fee sharing, profit sharing thing. But I was able to make it free and keep it free because of that. And honestly, guys, I don't make a lot of money on that anyways. Like, what's the fee on a $100 deposit? You make a trade off that. The fee is going to be like $1 or $2. So I make a portion of $1 or $2 or whatever. Now, some of you guys have deposited larger amounts, and I really appreciate you guys trusting me and trusting the exchange enough to deposit large amounts on there and trade large amounts on there. And by the way, I have traded some decent amounts on that exchange, and I've never had a problem with them. And if you guys ever do have a problem, reach out to me personally, because I will make sure that it gets solved. Anytime someone's hit me up in the Telegram, Alan in there is my rep. He has been so responsive, so great for us, always on task with that. So that's the reason. All right. Is some market maker broken in crypto? Am I worried about this massive downside pressure? No, it's capitulation, man. It's capitulation happening, which is totally normal. We're breaking. A lot of people, including myself, were really expecting 70K to hold. And when so many people are expecting a level to hold, sometimes it capitulates straight through that. It wrecks everyone first that longed, that had limit orders set between 70K and 68K. It dumps another $10,000 and then, or $5,000, and then it can start to rally. So I'm not worried about it. Now, this in some ways is pretty bad confirmation that we could be going into a prolonged bear market. But we, you know, the ABC still could play out, or the WXY now. I'm really thinking that this could be a WXY correction. WXY here, and that might be your bigger 3-wave corrective move before making a major push up. Okay. I'm still in my long from 120K. What should I do? Well, CMX, if you're in a long from, and I know you're joking. I know you're joking. If you're in the long from 120K, double down, baby. No, I obviously don't do that. I'm joking too, but what do you think of an ETH entry right here? Okay, let's look at ETH. Okay, ETH is coming down to the 786 Fibonacci. Man, I like 1600 better. 1600 is a weekly level. It's the bottom of the pitchfork. And because we did reject from the top of the pitchfork, we tried to hold the upper band. We tried to hold the midline. We fell straight through the bottom band. We might drop to 1600 overall. At 1600, I will be looking for swing longs for sure. It's like 1587. There's a weekly level there as well. But that 786 could give us a nice bounce. And we didn't touch it, but we're pretty damn close to it. What I would expect is, let's see if we can start seeing some grindage sideways and down where we make one more new local low and actually hit that 786. Then we might at least be able to see a rally up to 2200 or 2100 to backtest the pitchfork band. Because we fell straight through the pitchfork band, we're likely to get some sort of backtest of it bearishly before potentially dropping down to the bottom. Yeah, okay, no stop loss. Yeah, no stop loss, right? Shoot. The secret success. I made him cry once. Oh, Mark Dutch, who you talk? I learned it's easy to make an adult man cry. Mark Dutch, who are you talking about? Not Coons, though. I know you're not talking about Coons. And it's a way to support Divinehood. It's at least we can do. Yeah, thank you, Tony CC. Guys, I really am trying to keep it fair and good for all you guys. I really am trying to be transparent with you guys and right and real. Like, genuinely, if you're part of my community, I genuinely want you to be successful because I want to build a community of really awesome traders, really successful traders. We all work together to help each other find the best actual technical analysis on the charts. And I think cooperation is far better than competition. And I think that when a bunch of people put their minds together and cooperate, they can be a far better success story or a far better force for what they want to achieve rather than competing against each other. So that's honestly my philosophy with it. Yeah. Maybe we can cover it. Yes, let's look at. So to answer your question, the 786 is enticing for at least a scalp long. What was I just going to look at? USDT dominance. I'll look at that real quick here. And then I've got to look at, gosh, okay. I just saw the time. I got to go pick up my kiddo soon, guys. So USDT dominance is probably going to keep rising until we hit that high at 9.5%. But I mean, we're now taking out these lower highs right here. You can see these semi-equal lower highs. We're starting to see a potential SFP of these lower highs. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of a pullback before continuing up to take out 9.5. And this pullback in USDT could last a week to 3 weeks, which could be our wave 4 bounce in Bitcoin if we're still looking at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But within the 5th wave, we're still looking at a 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for a 4 before seeing a 5 down, a little bit lower. That pullback in USDT could give us this little rise here before coming down. And we might, I really think that if USDT is SFP 9.5 at the same time that Bitcoin's hitting 57 to 58, man, that could be a nice swing long position. Rich, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thank you. Sorry we're late. What's your next major support area? Well, we're hitting a major support area for me right now at 63.1 to 60, pretty much 63,000 to 62.5. It's our 2-to-1 Fibonacci expansion level. It is our previous range point of control of this range here in 2024, and it's a daily level down here. So we're hitting it, and we're at least starting to see some sort of reaction. The next major support level is 58,000 to 58 to 57, 56, let's say, or 57, 58 to 57,000, where we have a naked monthly point of control. We have our anchored VWAP from the bear market lows. We have 3 different pitchforks that all have support at this area, and they're all high time frame pitchforks. Really nice pitchfork supports. So picking up your kids is illegal in some states. Yeah, that is true, Mark. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Can we cover ES? Yeah, let's look at ES real quick here. ES. Okay, we are coming down to that support level I talked about just on Tuesday. Coming down to the swing failure pattern of this low into your the bottom of your pitchfork band. Remember, we talked about this when we were way up here. When was that? On Tuesday, we talked about this. If you go watch the live stream on Tuesday, we were targeting that low because we were falling back inside the pitchfork and we were bearishly backtesting and rejecting the top of the pitchfork band. This here, because we did this and rejected here, I expected to move to the bottom of the pitchfork band. We are now seeing that, grabbing some liquidity. Let's see if we can hold the bottom of this pitchfork band. Now, we might come a little bit lower to hit 67.84. To actually hit the 67.84, we might come a little bit lower. But that's generally, we're at the band support right now. And you can see how these pitchfork bands work. Like once we fell, I didn't mean to do that. Once we fell back inside of it, you get the back test of it, you reject, and now you're going to work your way to the bottom of it. If this can hold, maybe we can work our way at least to the golden pocket between that rejection and that low. We could even pull a golden pocket from the lower high here to that low. Yeah, even coming up near the top of the pitchfork band. And I would even maybe pull it from this high here. So that could be an area. Ice cream vans everywhere. Yes, right. They do. Sometimes they do a lot of picking up, unfortunately. 2.8K Bitcoin just deposited into Binance. So someone could be about to sell a lot of Bitcoin, guys. All right. I think that the excitement for the day is going to be done with. I think we're going to start to slow down and grind and form a range in here. We really want to see this start to hold, guys. Now, could we come down and make one more local low and then, you know, kind of see a sort of inverse head and shoulders here? Yes, we could. And also money flow still doesn't look the best here. So don't get too excited yet. Let's also look at our order flow here. I like this. On the aggregated open interest, we are seeing a lot of shorts come in at the bottom of a $10,000 dump day. Like, why would you short at the end of a $10,000 candle to the downside? Not the beginning of it. But we are seeing fresh shorts come in here at the bottom of a $10,000 dump. And I think this needs to refresh a little bit. Yeah, look at this. We are still seeing fresh shorts come in as we speak. We're still seeing some fresh shorts come in at the bottom here. This could give us a short squeeze, guys. This price action right here is pretty much fresh shorts coming in. And especially the last, I would say, hour and a half, shorts are coming in at the exact bottom. This could at least give us some fuel for a bit of a short squeeze. Yes, absolutely, ZMX. I use them. I use them a lot. Can't do proper TA without them. Yeah. Okay. Well, that ES is at a pretty good support. Now I know the market's closed, but or is it? Let's see. This is futures. Okay, so you might come a little bit lower to hit that 0.5 Fibonacci. Hope Michael Saylor won't shoot himself tonight from this drop. Yeah, I don't think he would get there. Maybe if he has to liquidate, go into chapter 11, but that's probably not going to be for a while. He's held underwater for months before. Remember when he held underwater when price was around 15K, I think it was. Would that drive the price down when they sell? It could. So Aeon, when you're seeing a nice dump today, capitulation dump today, and you still have shorts coming in, it means that the dump could continue. But also they're shorting into a support where you're expected to find some people willing to trade against that, right? People willing to defend their positions here, major institutions willing to defend their positions here, because it was a 2024 point of control where their fair value is, right? So you're going to see a fight here, and that's when we could see a little bit of a range start. You might see a short squeeze, and then something like this in a range start to form in this general area. Tomorrow is going to be very interesting. I will be streaming tomorrow too, guys, by the way. And maybe I'll start the stream a little bit early. So keep an eye out on YouTube. I'll post my thumb ahead of time, but I might start early so we can go longer. Yeah, 58K dread mining. I know it's the non-log fib of support. It's also a monthly point of control. And there's three major pitchforks, right around 57 to 58. So I do think that's a really good level to be looking at. My wife is asking, how is the crypto? Yeah, she probably heard something on the news and now is like worried. All right, let me answer this text, guys. All right. Let's see here. I hate to be leaving right around now, guys, but I do got to leave soon here. Wait for a break in market structure. Even right now, it looks like we could be about to form some sort of triangle in here. And this triangle could just break down and can continue. We want to see some sort of sign of strength, a break in market structure. We still, even on the 5-minute, you have your high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and now we're consolidating in a triangle, which is just a continuation pattern, right? A symmetrical triangle is a continuation consolidation pattern. So that means we have a higher chance of dumping out of it. But if we can start to break market structure bullishly by breaking now, even on the 5-minute, breaking the $64,622 high, is that the right high? Let me see. Yeah. Then you can say, oh, that is our first sign of strength It's only a 5-minute break, by the way, which is not big at all, but at least it's something. We haven't seen something all day. Since $70,000, we haven't seen any sign of strength at all. So breaking above $64,600, then if you retrace, that is when you can start to look for a long. And when you hit that golden pocket, retrace. But until we start to even break 5-minute market structure, I ain't touching this thing. I don't care that we're at support. I am waiting for a sign of strength. Amazon stock falls 10% after reporting Q4 earnings. Wow. Well, guys, another scary thing is the stock market is still pretty much at all-time highs. Like, we're pretty much at all-time highs. We're only what is this? We're 3.5% off all-time highs. This, once again, on the daily time frame or on the week, let's go to the 3-day time frame. The bearish divergences that we're seeing on the chart, I like it better on the daily to visualize this, is so aggressive that this whole entire thing, and look at how this is what Coons talks about a lot, but you have an aggressive move up, and then you start kind of grinding sideways. I call it selling exhaustion, or in this case, buying exhaustion. So we had our aggressive move up, and then the buyers are starting to get exhausted. So you're still in the trend, but the buying is weakening. It's weakening, and that's generally when you see a reversal. And look at these bear divs that we're seeing on the daily time frame going all the way back really to July. So this could, if we break this pitchfork band, we could see an aggressive drop to the midline at around $61.87 to about $6,200 on the ES. Now, if the ES starts breaking down aggressively here, what do you think Bitcoin and crypto is going to do as well? It's going to continue to break down as well. It's going to continue to bleed. So just be aware that with Bitcoin down, now it's like, 50% off its all-time highs? What are we at? Even right now, we're at, 50%. We're 50% off all-time highs, guys. That's nuts. 50% off all-time highs. And the ES is only 3% off all-time highs, 3.5%, with the craziest bear divs I've seen in quite some time. Money flow draining out this entire time, right about to cross into the red. If the ES is about to dump to the downside, this big impulsive structure starting to find exhaustion, starting to roll over here. Now, there is still a possibility, especially with the ES that tends to go up and to the right over and over and over and over, that this could now just keep grinding in here for another 2-3 months before making another new all-time high and then breaking it down. But this is starting to get exhausted with the buying. We are starting to see a weakening in the trend. The trend was very strongly to the upside. We're starting to see the weakening, and now we're starting to see what that, Coons calls it the trend and turn methodology. It's something he kind of invented his terminology, but the trend. And now we're starting that turn where we could drop. Big bear divs, giant bear divs, multiple drives of it, money flow leaving out of the asset. Very bearish for me. Now, if I was in the S&P, well, I am in the S&P, but if I was like heavily invested in the S&P, I would start taking profits as soon as we lost this pitchfork band. And I would look to rebuy some 62, 63, 64, or even coming down to the lower band in the mid 5,000s. This is like long-term spot stuff. Yeah, I think that consumer's a lot weaker than the media is telling us. Time attack, I agree with you there. I do. I did see yesterday 1.8 million jobs, unemployment. It was something like that, and where it was much worse. The unemployment rate was much higher than they thought. And when the jobs dual mandate is to keep jobs high, like the employment rate high, the unemployment rate low, and to keep inflation around 2%. Well, obviously inflation's above 2%, but if the jobs market starts to really break, if unemployment starts to really climb and loss of jobs really starts to occur, it could break the market, and that could cause them to panic cut rates or even panic print. But that they would probably wait for some months. You know, they look at the data, so they would want to see like 2 or 3 months of really bad jobs reports, unemployment numbers, and then they might start to emergency cut. But that could, right when that happens, usually you see a big drop first, and then they decide to emergency cut or emergency print, and then that can cause the rally. We have a very, guys, as traders, as financial just nerds that are watching the markets, we have a very interesting few months coming up. Not only for the crypto market, but for the traditional markets as well. Opportunities abound, though. Anytime Bitcoin is 50% off its all-time highs, you should start thinking about, I shouldn't say you should, I personally start thinking about, is it time to start dipping my toe in and buying some spot? Anytime I see alts near all-time lows or alts near major lows, is it time to start looking at buying some? Shoot, Sui here, you know, man, if Sui comes down and takes out this low at 46 cents, I'm probably going to buy some. Yes, it would be a sign of weakness taking out that low. I understand that. We could even be looking at some sort of contracting diagonal in here. Yeah, emergency cut would be a VIX blow off top. Yeah, the volatility index. Sui might actually go to zero. I hope not, man. Sui, I think, is a good project, but let's see. The new Fed chair is on record saying he doesn't believe the Fed taking action until after things break. Yes, that's true. So now we wait for things to break. And also, the new Fed chair is what's causing a lot of this uncertainty, because he's also kind of flip-flopped his stance, and a lot of people are worried about this new Fed chair. So uncertainty is what markets hate. And guys, if anything's going to cause the market, the S&P, to really start to roll over and dump, it could be the uncertainty in the macroeconomics with the Fed. So be aware that this thing could really start to dump. I mean, look at the bear divs that we are seeing on the chart. Take a look at the DXY on the weekly. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to leave in 3 minutes, though, guys. I do got to jump off in 3 minutes, but let's see, DXY on the weekly. Well, we're coming down to that golden pocket. The dollar is dead. Narrative might be getting canceled. Yeah, I mean, it's dead, but it rallied so hard from 2021 to the end of 2022. This is, to me, this just looks like a corrective move in here to kind of correct for this extreme rally, unusual rally on the dollar. But we are coming to our golden pocket now, and we're coming to the bottom of the channel. So yeah, I do think the dollar, it's tough to say. I mean, look, we rejected from this golden pocket. So because we rejected here, we expected to come take out these lows. We did that last week, and it's starting to rally. But overall, you can see some wickage past this golden pocket, but it's holding still. It's holding. So is this going to chop in here and hold for a bit and create an accumulation in here? You know, you kind of have your tap 1 in here now, a tap 2 in here. Is this going to rally maybe to the midline before coming down and making a higher low in a Model 2 or a lower low in a Model 1, and then start an expansion phase here? I see some nice bull divs here. Lower lows here, higher lows here, higher lows here. Weekly bull divs forming. Now your money flow still looks weak here, so I would wait for that to bottom out. And then what was the last one here? ETH at 1587, Dread Mining. That's where I'm looking. ETH, the bottom of the pitchfork. You have a weekly level in there. It's the bottom of the pitchfork. It's a weekly level, and it is our value area, or our point of control of our 4-year long range on Coinbase. So let me show you this real quickly here. Weekly level, 1587. Turn on our 4-year cycle. Point of control of that 4-year cycle on Coinbase. Right there. That is the major, major, major spot buy for me. Now, I did buy some at 2162, and I'm underwater there. But at this box, So this is going to be heavy spot. Heavy spot buys for me at that level. Point of control, bottom of the pitchfork, 4-year long range, weekly level. And because we rejected from the top of the pitchfork, we can expect the move through the pitchfork. Pitchfork trading, reject the top, bounce from the band, hold the band, hold the band, hold the band, lose the band, back test the band, fall to the midline, hold the midline, hold the midline, hold the midline. Now we lose it, we fall. Generally, you do see some sort of chop in this lower band, but this time we fell through it. On the way up, we busted through it. This time we're busting down through it. And then what happened? You kept going to the top. So are we going to keep going to the bottom before seeing something? So in my opinion, 1587 to about 1570-ish, 15 and a half. Let's just say like around 15 and a half. Just received a phone call from some American kindergarten. They talked about some kid with a big forehead was waiting for his father. Damn it, Mark, you got me. How did you know we have a 5 head here? No, I hope I don't have too big of a forehead. I don't know. I have hair. Let's just say that, guys. Someday when you see me, you'll see that I have hair. Ugh. I love you, Mark. Okay, guys, I do got to get going for real. I'll be live tomorrow. Keep an eye out on the YouTube. I might try to stream early so we can stream longer tomorrow. Please be safe, everyone. Honestly, love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here, being part of this community, for your support and your kind comments. Thank you all so much to my mods for being so awesome and just being positive influences in this community. Mark for bringing the comedy here. Love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.